It's hard not to try and compare Astroneer with what's already out there. A majority of us have probably played several games in the space survival genre. It might have been a AAA game that didn't live up to its promises, or an indie title that seems like it'll be stuck in early access forever. But with so many space exploration games out there, what sets Astroneer apart from them? Well, I would say that the unique feature of this game is that there is a strong focus on manipulating the terrain for the purpose of exploration, as opposed to being focused around building bases or vehicles. You can manipulate the terrain from the very beginning, and it is done easily with very few limitations, that being the depletion of energy. Energy itself regenerates over time, and you can find energy that you can harvest in the environment. Your typical gameplay experience starts off as being ejected into a procedurally generated planet. You look around, find resources, and gather them. As you gather, you have to mind your oxygen levels, which can then be replenished by going near the pod, but you can craft tethers to extend your reach. Crafting is done by making sure that you have the right amount of material and simply clicking a button. There's no rearranging items in a certain pattern or order, which decreases the learning curve a bit compared to other games. Crafting tethers will let you discover more resources, will then lead you to research and craft upgrades in vehicles to make exploring and gathering easier. More advanced crafting is done by adding modules to the pod, by having the required materials and clicking the transparent extension on the pod. Eventually you can craft a shuttle or spaceship and go to the moon or a different planet. At the moment, there isn't a tutorial in place that tells you what you're supposed to do, what you can do, or how to do it, so unless you watch a few videos that explain it like this one or read a few guides before playing, you won't really know what you're doing. It reminds me a lot of early Minecraft, where you're just thrown into the world and have to figure it out as you go. Though the systems currently in place, like crafting, are relatively simple and easy to pick up. A lot of people describe the art style of this game as cute, and I guess I can agree. The combination of models, textures, and animations are definitely more lighthearted than what we're used to seeing. I think the art style is atmospheric. There's a day-night cycle, there's a weather system, and the procedurally generated planets have enough variation in random items to intrigue your curiosity into finding out what's down a canyon, a dark cave, or on the other side of a huge mountain. As of right now, does it feel complete? No. There really isn't a lot of depth, but that's entirely because this is so early in its development. There's also a few bugs, but not as much as I've seen in other games. There is multiplayer, but at the moment it's barely functional and is subject to crashing often. If you are an adopter of games still in their alpha phases, like early Space Engineers, Don't Starve, or Minecraft, you should take a look at Astroneer, watch some videos, read some dev blogs, because this game does look promising. With that said, keep in mind that if you do buy this now, at the moment there really isn't a lot of content, but if you can appreciate its simplicity and focus on exploration, you might enjoy it. This game does have a lot of potential, but there's just not enough features implemented right now for me to recommend it to everyone. The roadmap is interesting and impressive, but it's still too early to tell whether or not the developers are going to be able to come through with their promises. Just to provide you guys with a quick overview, they're planning on adding dedicated servers for multiplayer, customization, complex hazards, world fauna, animals, extended base elements, complex encounters and discoveries, a player-driven economy, survival mechanics, and more land and space vehicular gameplay. A link to the game on Steam is in the description below. You can also find it on Xbox One. I'll also leave a link to their Trello so that you can see the roadmap for yourself and decide whether or not it's a game you would like to support, or even if it's one that you would like to buy when it's finished. My name is Phunky, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.